It's a Thursday night, and my laptop screen is the only light in the room. End of quarter reports, 2 monitors, 3 half-finished spreadsheets. Numbers make sense. They behave if you treat them right. People don't. I hear her bare feet first, soft on the hardwood. Then that little throat clearing she does when she wants my attention on her. Not the work. "Hey," Laura says, leaning on the doorframe like she's posing for a catalog. "You buried there?" "Almost done." I finish a sentence I won't remember later and hit save. "What's up?" She steps in, all energy and fake casual. Ponytail, leggings, that oversized hoodie she thinks makes her look younger. She's smiling, but her eyes keep flicking to my phone on the desk. "So," she starts, drawing it out. "Remember how I told you Ryan's been trying to get everyone to do more outdoorsy team stuff? There it is. His name again. Ryan Thompson, project lead, work best friend. The guy who suddenly knows her favorite coffee order and her childhood dog's name." "Sure," I say, neutral, bored even. "The hiking guy." She laughs too loud. "Yeah, well, we finally picked a weekend. Pinecrest area. Real camping this time. Tents, actual dirt, no Wi-Fi." She steps closer, like selling it in person will make it cleaner. "We're going this weekend. Leaving Friday after work, back Sunday night." I stare at her for a second. Just long enough for her to wonder what I'm thinking. Not long enough to call it a pause. "Sounds fun," I say. "Who's we?" She blinks once. "Me, Ryan, a few people from the dev team. Maybe Jess if she doesn't bail." She waves her hand like the roster's too trivial to lock down. 3 weeks ago, my phone rang at 9:17 p.m. "Hi, is this David Peterson? This is Karen Ellis, head of HR at Arcadia Systems." Her voice was professional but too careful. She talked about concerns, complaints, and patterns involving Laura and Ryan. Late nights, closed doors, schedules that never matched the project logs. "We've installed additional surveillance in some common areas," she'd said. "Given your relationship to Mrs. Peterson, we'd like your written consent to share relevant findings with you if it turns out there's more going on than work." More going on than work. Now Laura is standing in front of me, selling a tent and stars fantasy with the same mouth that told me she was too exhausted for anything but Netflix last weekend. I swivel my chair to face her fully. On the outside, I'm just a husband listening to his wife's trip plans. "That's short notice," I say. "You already cleared it at work?" Yeah, it's all good." She waves it off. "Everyone's cool with it. I can really use the break, you know? The mountains, the air." She searches my face. "You're okay with it, right?" Karen's email is still burned into my memory. As discussed, here are the authorization forms. Once signed, we will be able to share any investigative findings directly with you as a spouse. I remember printing them, reading every line twice, then picking up the pen anyway. "I'm not your parent," I tell Laura. "If you want to go camping, go camping." Her shoulders drop a little in relief. "You're the best," she says, moving in to kiss my cheek. I let her. It lands light, like she's kissing an idea of me from 5 years ago. "When are you back Sunday?" Ask. "Late afternoon? Early evening? Depends on traffic." She's talking fast now. "I'll text you when we're on the road. Oh, and cell service might be spotty out there. So if I go quiet, don't freak out." She laughs like it's a joke. "Sure," I say. "Patchy service." "Got it." She nods, searching my eyes for something. Suspicion, anger, a tell. I give her nothing. "Okay, I'll let you finish up," she says, backing toward the door. "Thanks for being cool about this." When she's gone, the room feels twice as quiet. I open my email, scroll to the thread with Karen Ellis, and hover over the attachment icon. The signed forms are already there, timestamped 2 weeks ago. Sent. Karen's last message sits at the bottom. "Thank you, Mr. Peterson. If anything significant is uncovered, we will notify you directly." I stare at Laura's name in my inbox and the flickering cursor in my report. My face is still arranged in the supportive husband expression from a minute ago. Inside, I'm counting red flags like line items. Camping. Patchy service. Ryan. Late Sunday. I don't say no. I don't confront. Not yet. I just let her think the crack hasn't reached me. She leaves Friday at 5:42 p.m. Backpack. Sleeping bag. A cheap camp chair she bought on sale last summer and never used. She kisses me in the doorway, all fresh excitement, and I'll send you pictures of the stars. Have fun, I tell her. My voice is steady. My hand is on the door jamb so I don't clench it into a fist. Her car backs out of the driveway. She doesn't look back. The house goes quiet in stages. The engine fades, then the gravel crunch, then the garage hum from next door. By the time I lock the door, the silence feels intentional. At 6:13 p.m., my phone buzzes. Karen Ellis. Mr. Peterson, just confirming. Laura Peterson and Ryan Thompson have checked into Pinecrest Lodge, room 214. Not a campground. There's a photo attached. Lobby shot, both of them at the front desk. Laura in jeans and a light jacket, hair done. Not exactly campfire mode. 2 minutes later, Laura. Just hit the trailhead. It's gorgeous out here. Service might cut out soon. I stare at both messages, one above the other. Same timestamp. 2 versions of reality. I save them. I haven't answered yet. An hour later, Karen again. For documentation. Room type is king, not double. Monday PTO requests submitted by both employees. Their spouses were not listed as emergency contacts for the trip. I thank her. Simple. Formal. My thumb hovers over the keyboard longer than it needs to. Laura sends a picture next. Trees, sky, generic enough it could be from any hiking blog on the internet. Look at this view, wish you were here. I zoom in. No boots. No gear in the corner. It's an old photo or someone else's. The metadata will probably tell Karen everything she needs to know. I text back. Looks nice. Be safe. That's it. Nothing more. Let her feel safe inside the lie. The rest of the weekend stretches out in pieces. I clean the kitchen. I mow the lawn. I try a movie and shut it off halfway through. Everything I do is just something to do while I wait for my phone to light up again. Every few hours, Karen checks in. Screenshot of the lodge reservation. Security stills of Laura and Ryan walking down a hallway together, shoulder to shoulder. Copies of their Monday calendar blocks marked personal. Every time Laura texts, it's about trails, campfire smoke, sleeping like a rock in the tent. Lots of emojis, like she's playing the part of herself. I don't argue with any of it. I don't ask questions. I just save everything. Her words. Karen's evidence. Parallel tracks of the same weekend. Saturday night is the worst. I lie in bed staring at the ceiling, the other side of the mattress empty and cold. I'm not missing her. I'm missing the version of me who would have believed her without checking the booking records. By Sunday afternoon, the fog starts to burn off. Anger clarifies things. Grief turns into a list. What I know, what I've seen, what I'm willing to live with. At 5:27 p.m., Karen sends the last update. They've extended checkout to 6 p.m. Still room 214. Both confirmed absences for Monday. At 7:02 p.m., I hear her engine in the driveway. I stand up, smooth my shirt, and look around the house. Same furniture, same walls, different man. Her key turns in the lock. I'm not guessing anymore. I'm just waiting to watch her try to sell me the story she's already practiced on herself. She walks in like she's coming back from a commercial. Hair a little messy, cheeks flushed. That refreshed glow people post on wellness blogs. Backpack drops by the door with a soft thud. Oh my God, Laura says, kicking off her shoes. I am so gross. 3 days of dirt and smoke. You would have hated the bathrooms. I took her in. Clean jeans, fresh shirt, makeup touched up. Nobody comes straight from a campground bathroom looking like that. Yeah, ask. Roughing it, huh? She laughs, already moving toward the hallway. Campfires, stars, freezing at 3 a.m. I'll tell you everything after I shower. I smell like a bonfire. Before you do, I say, and my tone changes the air just enough that she stops. Are called Friday. She turns back slowly. HR. Karen Ellis. She wants to see you at 9 tomorrow. Asked me to be there as your spouse. There's a half second where her face forgets to lie. Eyes widen, pupils flash, jaw tightens. Fear, naked and sharp. Then the mask snaps back on. Why? She asks too quickly, then slower, trying to reel it in. I mean, about what? She didn't say much on the phone, I answered. Technically true. Something about conducting reviews. She emailed the details. She swallows. I watch her throat work. Okay, that's weird. I'm sure it's nothing. She forces a smile. You don't have to come, you know? It's probably routine. No, I say. They were pretty clear they wanted me there. The room still goes around that sentence. Later, instead of her cooking like she usually does on Sundays, I order pizza. We sit on the couch, TV on some mindless show, the sound too loud for how little we're actually watching. You're being weird, she says finally, a slice half-eaten in her hand. You're quiet. What's going on? The irony almost makes me laugh. The woman who spent months building a second life wants to talk about my vibe. Just tired, I say. Long weekend. She studies me, eyes narrowed, testing words like she's tapping floorboards for hollow spots. Is this about the trip? She asks. You're not mad I went, are you? Because you said. I said have fun. I cut in. Calm. Even. Did you? She hesitates, then nods. Yeah, it was good to get away. Disconnect. Her gaze searches my face again. Why did HR call? Did you? Do you know something I don't? That one hangs there. Heavy. I guess we'll both know more at 9. I say. She doesn't like that. She keeps circling. Little questions. Casual comments. Fishing for how much I've seen, how much I've guessed. I give her nothing solid to grab. When she finally goes to shower, she takes her phone with her. She never used to. I sit at the kitchen table, open my messages, and text Karen. I'll be there at 8:30. Yes, I want to see everything before the meeting. Her reply is almost immediate. Understood. We'll have the footage and reports ready. By the time Laura comes to bed, hair damp, skin smelling like hotel soap instead of campfire, the house is quiet again. She slides under the covers, lies on her side facing away from me. Tomorrow's going to be awkward, she mutters. I hate HR stuff. Yeah, I say into the dark. It will. We're maybe 18 inches apart. Feels like a mile of open water. She falls asleep fast or pretends to. I lie there on my back, staring at the ceiling, knowing exactly what's waiting on that conference room screen in the morning. Same bed, same 2 people. Everything else has already shifted. Monday morning, I drove to her office alone. She took her own car just in case. Like we might be coming back from the same meeting to the same life. I let her go first. I needed the space. Traffic gives me something to do with my eyes. Red light, green light, lane changes. My brain keeps trying to script tomorrow, next week, 6 months from now. I keep dragging it back to one thing. Make it through the next hour. Arcadia Systems looks like every other tech building, glass, steel, fake plants by the entrance. I've picked her up here before, back when late nights sounded like dedication instead of a cover story. Karen is waiting in the lobby, tablet in hand. Dark suit, tired eyes. Mr. Peterson, she says, offering her hand. Thank you for coming. David is fine. She nods and leads me past security, down a carpeted hallway that smells like burnt coffee and recycled air. We stopped at a conference room with the lights dimmed. There's a laptop on the table hooked up to a wall-mounted screen. Another woman is already there, mid-40s, precise posture, legal pad in front of her. David, this is Susan Blake, corporate counsel, Karen says. She's here to walk through the policy side. Susan shakes my hand like this is a deposition. Before we begin, I want to be clear. What you're about to see was collected as part of a formal disciplinary investigation. All recordings are on company property, during company time. You gave written consent for us to share them with you. I remember, I say. We sat. Karen taps a key, and the screen comes alive. Parking garage. Grainy at first, then sharper as the camera autofocuses. Timestamps in the corner. There's Laura, walking toward a familiar SUV. Ryan leans against it, pushing off when he sees her, smiling like they're in a commercial for bad decisions. They meet in that gray no-man's land between cars. She looks around once, then steps in. They talk too close. His hand brushes her back. The angle isn't perfect, but it doesn't need to be. You can see enough. Twice a week, Karen says quietly. We logged 12 meetings like this over the past 6 weeks. Clip after clip. Conference rooms booked under fake client names. Doors closing. The camera in the hallway captured them coming out later. Clothes straightened. Faces flushed. Storage room. No audio. Just their bodies angled toward each other. No space between them. His hand on her waist. Her fingers on his chest. A quick kiss in the corner. Thinking no one's watching. My jaw tightens so hard my teeth hurt. Then the lodge. Photos of the reservation. Check-in footage from Pinecrest's lobby. Shared by their security team. Laura and Ryan side by side. Laughing at something on her phone. Suitcase, not a duffel. Dress, not hiking gear. We also pulled email and calendar data, Susan says, sliding a printout toward me. Coordinated PTO requests. Meeting titles that don't match project timelines. Some flagged expense reports we're still digging through. Karen brings up a spreadsheet. Dates, times, locations. Every lie with a timestamp. I watch my marriage end in 1080p from 3 angles with policy codes attached. From a corporate standpoint, Susan says, calm and clinical, this is a clear pattern of misconduct, time theft, misuse of company resources, ethics violations. There are also multiple staff complaints about their behavior creating a hostile environment. I nod because that's what my neck knows how to do. Inside, something finally stops arguing. There isn't a single innocent corner left to hide in. Are you still willing to be present for the joint meeting? Susan asks. Yes, I say, eyes on the frozen frame of Laura in the hotel lobby mid-laugh. I want her to see what I've seen. They moved us to a bigger conference room for the main event. Long table, blinds half closed, TV mounted on the wall, laptop already cabled in. Karen and Susan sit on one side. They put me at the head of the table, like a quiet judge who doesn't need a robe. The chair opposite us is empty. That's hers. Security will bring her up in a minute, Karen says. I just nod. A knock. The door opens. Laura walks in with a folder clutched to her chest, ready to argue about some minor HR misunderstanding. Then she sees me. The laptop, the big screen, Karen's tablet, Susan's legal pad. Her stride stutters. Not enough for most people to notice. Enough for me. What is this? She asks, eyes bouncing between faces. Why is David here? Please have a seat, Mrs. Peterson, Susan says. Her voice is polite but leaves no room for negotiation. Laura sits in the single chair opposite us. She angles toward me first. Did I do something wrong? She asks, trying for light, confused, innocent. Susan starts talking. Laura, this is a formal meeting regarding concerns about conduct on company time and property. You were informed this was mandatory. You are welcome to have representation present. But given the internal nature of the investigation, we proceeded as scheduled. Conduct, Laura repeats. What are you talking about? My performance reviews are fine. Ask. This isn't about your performance metrics, Karen cuts in. We've received complaints, multiple employees, about you and Ryan Thompson. Laura scoffs. Oh my God, he's just my friend. People are ridiculous. We work late. We joke around. Suddenly it's a scandal. Karen taps the laptop. The TV wakes up. Parking garage. Same grainy shot as before. Laura on the screen walking toward Ryan's SUV. The date and time are stamped in the corner. What is this? She asks, color draining. Company security footage, Susan says. You signed consent forms for recording on premises as a condition of employment. On screen, they meet between cars. His hand slides to the small of her back. Her face tilts up toward his. Laura leans back in her chair like the air got thinner. That doesn't mean anything, she says. We were talking. You can't even see. Karen clicks. Another clip. Conference room door. His hand on her waist as they exit. Another. Storage room hallway. That quick kiss in the corner. That's taken out of context. Laura snaps, voice climbing. You can't just. This is my privacy. Your privacy expectations on company property are outlined in Section 4 of the Employee Handbook, Susan says, sliding a printed policy toward her. You acknowledged receipt and agreement electronically on your first day, and again last year. Karen brings up the lodge documentation. Reservation, check-in video, room details, Pinecrest Lodge, king bed, 2 guests. Laura swallows hard. We had to share for budget reasons. There were other people there. It was a group thing. Really? I say, finally speaking. Her eyes whip to me. So when you texted me pictures of the tent, I continued, that was from inside this lodge? I nod at the screen. Or did you borrow someone else's campsite for the shot? She opens her mouth. Nothing comes out. Karen clicks to a still image from the lodge hallway. Different camera. The same night she FaceTimed me with patchy service and fake stars in the background. Here, she's walking down the carpet in a dress, phone in hand. No tent, no trees. Susan doesn't raise her voice. She doesn't need to. We have calendar records, email threads coordinating PTO, security logs, and staff complaints describing repeated use of company time and spaces for personal activity, she says. You are welcome to explain any of this, but denial will not change what's on record. Laura looks at the screen, then at me, then back again. Every excuse she reaches for dies at the edge of her tongue. David, she says finally, voice cracking. It's not what it looks like. Laura, I answered calmly. For the first time in months, it's exactly what it looks like. The room stays quiet long enough for the lie to finish dying. Karen closes the laptop halfway like a casket lid. No more clips. No more angles. Given the evidence, she says, voice steady, Arcadia Systems is terminating your employment effective immediately for ethics violations, misuse of company resources, and time theft. Your access has already been revoked. Security will escort you to collect personal items. Laura stares at her, then at Susan, then at me. You're firing me? She says, like the word physically doesn't fit in her mouth. Over what? Some videos and gossip? After everything I've done for this company. This isn't about your deliverables, Susan replies. It's about your choices. The same decision has been made regarding Mr. Thompson. Something in Laura finally cracks. Not the controlled teary act. The real break. I'm losing my job over this? She asks, voice shaking. My career? My reputation? I'm going to lose everything. You didn't lose it today, I say. You lost it the first night you decided lying to me was just working late. Everything since then was just paperwork catching up. Karen and Susan exchange a glance. We're going to step out for 10 minutes, Susan says. Give you both some privacy before security arrives. David, if you're willing, we may need a statement later about the PTO lies and the fabricated camping story for our internal file. Fine, I say. They leave. The door closes with a soft click. It's just us. No HR buffer. No legal script. Laura turns to me, eyes red, mascara starting to run. David, please. You know me. You know I'm not. This. It got out of hand. It was supposed to be short term. I offer. Fun? An escape. She flinches like I slapped her. I messed up, she says. I know that. But can we work through this? We've got years together. A life. Hannah, I'll quit. I'll block him. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't throw us away over. I'm not throwing anything away, I say. I'm taking out what you already burned. She shakes her head, tears coming faster. Don't say that. We can go to counseling. You can forgive me. People come back from worse. Maybe, I say, but not us. I'll probably forgive you someday, for my own sanity, but I will not reconcile with you. I won't share a house, a bed, or a life with someone who used company security to keep track of her cheating schedule. She stares, breathing hard. I'll be filing for divorce this week, I finished. You won't have to contest anything. We both know why we're here. A soft knock. The door opens. Karen reappears with a security guard behind her, badge reader in hand. They ask for her ID card. She hands it over with shaking fingers. The guard clips it to his belt like it's nothing. I stand. She reaches for me once, fingers brushing my sleeve. David, please. I step back. Take care of yourself, Laura, I say. Figure out who you want to be when you're not lying to everyone around you. Then I walk out. She goes one way down the hallway with security. I go to the other, not as her husband anymore, just as the man who finally stopped pretending this was salvageable. 3 weeks later, I'm in my divorce attorney's office signing my name like it's a job I'm being paid for, page after page. Initial here, signature there. Asset list, debt list. Custody is a non-issue. Hannah's in college, legally grown, emotionally old enough to see through everything. It's surprisingly straightforward, my attorney says. She's not contesting the house. No alimony demands. Just want it done. Of course she does. Fighting would mean dragging every detail into daylight. She's had enough of cameras. He leans back. For what it's worth, Ryan's wife filed immediately. Heard through the grapevine, she didn't hesitate for a second. Multiple blast zones. Same epicenter. When it's all signed, he slides the stack away. We'll file this afternoon. 90 days or so, and it's official. Endings are always a mix of condolences and congratulations, Mr. Peterson. On the drive home, the sky is clear. No symbolism, just weather. My phone buzzes at a red light. Hannah. Hey, Dad. How'd it go? Want me to come home this weekend and help with the house? I can grab a bus. I stare at the screen and feel something shift. Not joy. Not yet. Just stability. Paperwork's done. I text back. If you want to come, I'd like that. She sends a heart. Simple. Clean. That evening, there's a knock on the door. Mike Harris, my neighbor, stands there holding a glass baking dish. Made way too much lasagna, he says. We both know that's a lie we're okay with. We eat at my table. He doesn't ask for details. At one point, he just says, "Been there," and taps his chest. It doesn't get better fast, but it does get better. After he leaves, I'm loading the dishwasher when my phone rings again. Unknown number. Local. Mr. Peterson? This is Detective Maria Rodriguez with the district attorney's office. She explains they're reviewing Arcadia's complaint, time theft, fraud, maybe more depending on the expense reports. Laura and Ryan's names are in the file. I'm a potential witness. I hang up and lean on the counter for a minute, listening to the quiet house. The HR meeting was just the opening bell. The consequences are still traveling outward. Hannah shows up Friday night with a duffel bag and tired eyes. She hugs me hard in the doorway. Longer than usual. No small talk, no fake cheer. Where do you want to start? She asks. Closet. I say. Might as well hit the worst part first. We work in silence at first. Her mother's side of the closet is a museum, work dresses, blouses. The heels she swore were investment pieces. We start pulling things down, sorting into piles on the bed. Keep it for her. Donate. Trash. Every item is a question I don't need answered anymore. In the back corner, behind a stack of old shoe boxes, Hannah finds it. Dad, she says quietly. What's this? It's a worn cardboard box, lid barely hanging on. Inside, printed photos from a different lifetime. Our wedding, road trips, Christmas mornings with little kid Hannah missing her front teeth. Laura with her head on my shoulder, eyes soft in a way I haven't seen in years. Hannah sits on the edge of the bed and flips through them slowly. Her hand shakes just enough that I notice. You guys look so happy, she says. How does it go from this to all of that? I sat beside her. Not too close. Just enough. It doesn't happen all at once, I tell her. People don't wake up one day and decide to blow up their life. There's a lot of small choices they don't correct. Little lies they let stand. Things they think they can get away with. She swallows. Was it always bad and you just didn't see it? No, I say. There were good years. Real ones. Your mom isn't a villain in a movie, and I'm not a saint. But what does she do in the end? That was a choice. Repeated. I don't know how to feel about her, she admits, eyes glossy. I'm mad, but she's still my mom. That's okay, I say. You don't have to pick a team. You just have to pay attention to actions, not speeches. With her, with me, with anyone you let close. We box the photos. I don't burn them. I don't frame them either. They're evidence that a version of us existed, not a place I'm going back to. That night, after Hannah goes to bed, I sit in the backyard with a cheap lawn chair and a real sky overhead. No lodge ceiling. No fake camping stories. For the first time, I let myself actually mourn. Not just the woman. Not even the marriage. I mourn the man who believed forever meant you could stop paying attention. The air is cool. The house behind me is quiet. The secret is gone. The pretending is done. For the first time in a long time, the emptiness feels like space, not a hole. The email comes on a Wednesday afternoon. Subject line: Final decree, estimated timeline. My attorney keeps it short. Filings accepted, judge assigned, everything on track. 90 days, give or take, and the marriage becomes a line item in a county record. He ends it with one sentence. Consider this both condolences and congratulations. That night I cooked a simple dinner, chicken, rice, and vegetables. Nothing fancy, nothing for show. Just food for one man in his own kitchen. The silence feels different now. Not like I'm being abandoned. More like the house is finally exhaling. My phone buzzes. Hannah, Mom's not doing great. She's a mess. Do you think you'll ever forgive her? I lean on the counter and think about it longer than it takes to type. Probably, eventually. For me, not for her. But forgiveness isn't the same as going back. She sends a sad face. Then, I love you, Dad. I'm glad you're okay. Later, another message pops up. Laura, I'm sorry. I made the biggest mistake of my life. I don't know how I became this person. For a minute, I just stare at it. There was a time that one text would have wrecked me. Now it just feels late. I answer once. I hope you figure out who you want to be and stop lying to yourself. I wish you clarity. That's all I've got left to give. Then I block the number. Not as revenge. As a boundary. The next few days, I move through the house with a quiet purpose. Take down wedding photos. Leave 1 or 2 old family shots for Hannah's sake. Shift furniture. New sheets. New mugs. Little replacements that add up to a different life. The betrayal is still there, but it's background now, not the headline. In the doorway of the living room, I stop and say it out loud, just once, to the empty house. I'm not just somebody's husband anymore. I'm me. And whoever walks into my life next meets the full truth or they don't come in. No secret trails. No hidden agendas. The crack became a break. The break became a boundary. And on the other side of that line, my life finally starts to belong to me again.